Great, so I'm joined by Steve Haines from BT. Steve, good to see you.
Good to see you, Mark.
Now then, BT obviously returned to the consumer mobile market in March this year. I think end of June they announced that had about 100,000 people had signed up. What's the latest since then? What can you tell us about how that's going?
Well, as you said, Mark, I mean, we got off to a really good fast start from the launch. It's a SIM-only offer that we've offered out there, primarily to the market, but primarily to our existing broadband customers. We're kind of above expectations where we wanted to be in the marketplace, so it's going really well. We're going to be making some more announcements shortly, which will have to be in the watch this space camp. But you know, I'm really pleased with what how the consumer proposition is taken off, and how it's been positioned with our customers, and the take-up's been fantastic.
Okay, so maybe what's kind of maybe the most important lesson that you've learned since returning to the mobile market for BT?
Well, I think the interesting thing about the mobile market is that, and particularly for me and for the business, will be that when you're selling broadband, you're selling it to the household. When you're selling mobile, you're selling it to an individual. So I think the big lesson that we learned is that we need to learn to market to me and you as individuals, but also our children and those things. So that's been a really big lesson we've learned. And I think we've got it right. We've packaged our offering to the household so that it's not, you can take multiple offers from BT for the whole of the household as well. So I think that's the biggest thing. I think the other thing, we've had to move because we moved our MVNO from Vodafone to EE over this period of time. So we've had to move about 500,000 customers from and migrate them from Vodafone to EE, and that's been a really big challenge to do that, in en masse over the last kind of 15 months. And I'm pleased to say that we've managed to keep the customer experience really high, and throughout that transition period. So I think those have been the two big learnings for us. Yeah.
Okay. Now, of course, we can't mention BT and mobile without mentioning EE, and you've got in there first, Steve. Well done for that. How much of your time is kind of spent planning for a future with EE?
Well, the reason I mentioned EE was because we have a partnership relationship with them anyway, which is arm's length, which is a normal MVNO relationship, and that's been in situ now for 18 months, and we continue with that relationship to service our customers. But of course, we're planning on the purchase of EE. That's currently going through a CMA process, which we hope to get some preliminary findings at the end of this month. So what we can do is start planning and do some basic planning about what the combined entity will look like as we go forward. But we can't do much more than that. I think we're optimistic of getting through clearance. There's a lot of kind of misjudged and maybe misguided information going out there in the marketplace at the moment. We think it's good for the UK because we're not taking out a mobile operator here. We're bringing together two complementary businesses. One is a fixed business and one is a mobile business, and just bringing those two things together. So there's very little overlap between the two businesses, and we think by the investments that we've made in fibre, the investments that EE have made in 4G, bringing those two things together would be really good for the UK, the UK market. So as you say, a lot of planning going on. We think it's a good thing for the UK industry, but in the meantime, we're working with our customers through the existing relationship we have with EE through our MVNO.
And I presume are you continuously planning for the fact that it might not happen as well?
I don't think I think we're planning for success.
Okay. And I'm not actually obviously going to prejudge any of the regulatory stuff, but do you think it's more or less likely perhaps that the EE brand will stay when it obviously goes through?
That's one of the things we're noodling through at the moment. Obviously when EE was created, there was T-Mobile and Orange, and those brands coexisted for a long period of time. I think that's one of those things that we'll announce later on, but I don't think there's any great rush into deciding that. I mean, EE is a very, very popular brand in the marketplace. You wouldn't want to destroy value by doing anything too rash or lurching at something like that. So I think we'll have to see how that one develops in terms of brands.
And obviously the idea behind that is to bring a bit of sense of convergence to what BT can offer. If we look at the other side of the market, do you see a place still for mobile-only players in the UK?
I do actually, yeah. I mean, I think if you look at where the UK is compared to its European contemporaries, we're at we're the bottom of the league when it comes to bundling. Bundling and convergence. France and Italy are well up there. We're about 15% of people buy bundles, whereas France and Italy they're around about 60%. So I think there's an opportunity for us in terms of bringing fixed and mobile together. But equally, I still think there's a big opportunity for just a mobile-only play. There'll be people who will just want mobile services. I'm prepared to buy those from a mobile-only player. I very much see that. Yeah.
So, what ultimately do you think that consumers want from a mobile service today?
Consumers are, I think they've adapted to mobile more so than enterprise in a way. If you think about, consumers have kind of led the way with smartphones have become the remote control of our lives. They've led the way with applications. So I think, and the adoption of smartphones and 4G in the UK is very, very high. I think it's 76% adoption, which is incredible of 4G, which is absolutely incredible. So I think it's about continuing the kind of innovation for users and the consumer. I think smartphones are quite mature now. The difference between the latest Apple and the old Apple is not that great. My daughter can't convince me to upgrade her Apple iPhone on the basis of what it does anymore. I think what consumers want, they want better value. They'll look at family packages. They'll want better quality of service. I think they'll want to see how Wi-Fi and 4G come together so that your kind of data experience you've got in the home continues, and that you can move seamlessly from the home outside as well in that way. I think they want to see more applications, obviously content on mobile, but all this done in a very good quality of service way. I think is what consumers want to see.
Right, Steve, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mark.